Mega Man X. Objectively, one of the best video games of all time. Released on the SNES back in the 90s, it was a pretty groundbreaking game, taking the Mega Man formula, mixing it up for new audiences and generations, and people loved it. It's widely regarded and revered in the gaming sphere, and gets compared to some of the best video games ever, such as Final Fantasy VII and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And, in my opinion, and the opinions of many others, it does deserve to be compared to those things. But, since this is such an iconic title, it's only natural it would be re-released a couple dozen times. So that's what we're going over today. Just how many re-releases of Mega Man X1 are there? Now, I bet there's a few of you who thought that Mega Man X was just some one-off title, but no, it's actually a sub-series of a different series, and called Mega Man, and that series has way more sub-series, but this is just one of them. And this series itself has 7 sequels. But that's a side note. Let's just get into the video and see how many re-releases there are. I decided to start my search with a Google search, and Google didn't really seem to want to give me a straight answer. So then I asked ChatGPT, and it told me that there's about, wait a minute, 6 to 8, oh thank God, 6 to 8 different re-releases. But today what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be going over all of the Mega Man X re-releases comprehensively, and counting all of them up for ourselves, and figuring out which ones all of them are, just so that you know what the re-releases are, what systems they were released for, instead of it just being some random number. First, of course, is the Super Nintendo release. Now, I know this is not technically a re-release, but I want to be comprehensive here and count all of the releases. You can feel free to take this number out of the final ranking. I'll go ahead and put up a ranking with this title and without it at the end. But, yeah, this is the very first release of Mega Man X on the Super Nintendo. This is where it all started, and this is where many 90s kids bought this game and fell in love with its amazing design. So, yeah, this is really the original game, and and really what all of these future re-releases are based off the groundwork of. Not really much to talk about. We're not going to go into the game itself. That's for probably a different video. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for this game. But yeah, like I said, all of the other ones are built off of this one. So most of them are like ports, so it's just like trying to emulate this. So yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see how they achieve that as the list goes on. The first port we'll be talking about today is Mega Man X for the DOS system on PC. This game is pretty cool. This one was released just 2 years after the initial success of Mega Man X. It became so popular that Capcom just knew that they had to start churning out re-releases already. So yeah, this one was made pretty fast. And yeah, they were also just churning out sequels on the NES too, because this Mega Man X series was just so dang popular. So yeah, this is Mega Man X for the DOS system, and it runs pretty well, It's pretty much the NES game, just at a lower resolution and frame rate and stuff. So, yeah, this one's pretty good, especially for running on the DOS, which is, infamous for producing games like Mega Man DOS. So, yeah, I really applaud this game. It's really nice. But between the funky looking graphics and bad music, which you can go ahead and take a listen to here. Yeah, between all that, this game kind of reminds me of, and some of you guys who love this game are gonna hate me for this, but it kind of reminds me of the bootleg version of Mega Man X3 for the Genesis. Now, hear me out, hear me out. This is still a good game and miles better than that one. But between the weird sounding music and weird looking graphics, yeah, it's kind of similar. All right. The next Mega Man X port we'll be looking at is the Mega Man X Legacy Collection. That's the one I have. This one is the most recent one, released for PS4, Xbox, whatever the most recent Xbox was at the time, and also the Nintendo Switch. And this one, and of course the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with the Switch, so it's also on the Switch 2, but I'm not counting that as a separate release since it's just the same game, but run on the Switch 2 as well. But yeah, this one is pretty good, and it's very accessible too, which is nice. In this one is like also a really good port. It's pretty much just like an emulated version of it. So yeah, pretty good quality of port and all that stuff, Yeah, it's like the dash button is not defaulted to the shoulder buttons, which I think it should. It just feels way too dang comfortable not to be justified. I don't know why, but yeah, very still very good. I mean, it has other features, like it has filters, it has like customizable borders. You can put the border to the wrong game for some reason. And then there's even the most forgotten feature, Rookie Hunter mode, where you can just like set the game to like easy mode and make it so that you like take out absolutely no damage, which no one ever uses. And then we have the X challenge, where you can fight 2 bosses at once, and also additional achievements, which I believe the X collection had. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's about it for this version. It definitely adds the most things out of the re-releases so far. But yeah, this is a pretty cool version, and I would totally recommend picking this up. Super high quality. Next up is Mega Man X for mobile devices. Yeah, I bet even some of you hardcore fans forgot about this one, because, yeah, it's pretty forgettable. I didn't even find out about this one until recently. Yeah, apparently Mega Man X at some point was released for mobile devices, and yeah, it's pretty bad. I've never played it, but from what I've heard, the controls aren't very good, and the graphics, while they do look pretty smooth, they're missing some of like the more detailed backgrounds and stuff from the original game, and I don't know, it just kind of looks off to me. I don't know, it just doesn't capture the essence of the original for me, and yeah, it just doesn't look very good. Shockingly, for this version, they just ported the soundtrack from the original over into this one. The reason why I say this is odd and shocking is because usually for this kind of game, especially with the remixed graphics, they would have like remixed the music and made it sound nice, but they didn't do that for this, and I am so thankful for that, because God knows it would have sounded so awful. So yeah, this is the port for mobile phones. Not really much else to say here. Alright, the next release we're going to be talking about is the X Collection release. Calvin, don't you mean the Mega Man X Legacy Collection release? No, I mean the Mega Man X Collection for the PS1, 2? I think this was 2. I don't know. Anyways, this collection has a bunch of games from the series up to X6. But for this video, we're only focusing on Mega Man X, since that's the one that's in this version. And all of them, since that's what we're going over in this video. And all of the ports are really about the same, since the PS1 or 2, whichever this was, is a more powerful system than the NES or PS1. These games are able to run perfectly fine on here. And there are a few little remix sound effects, and it looks like things might be a little stretched, but that might just be me. Aside from that, this game looks pretty good. Again, this is one I've never played, but this looks about 1-to-1 with the NES ones. So yeah, it looks pretty good, and yeah, not really much to write home about. This is just a solid port, pretty much 1-to-1 with the original. All right, so the next version up is the SNES Mini version, and this version felt really good. It was almost like playing on the SNES when I booted it up. It was just crazy accurate, and it was a super fun time playing in Sting Chameleon stage here for the time I did when I was to record this. So yeah, it was just super fun playing this stage, and it almost even felt easier to dash, even though the dash button wasn't one of the shoulder buttons. But yeah, this one was just super fun to do. Yeah. I loved going back and revisiting this one. This is, again, a really good port. Feels almost even more accurate than the Legacy Collection. This one is probably just like a ROM emulation, but it does what it does well, and they really did what they needed to make the SNES Mega Man X happen. And yeah, good job. This is really good. All right. Now we've covered all of the ports of all of Mega Man X. Now we're going to discuss some that didn't quite make the cut, despite being versions of Mega Man X, because they weren't ports, and that's what we're looking at in this video. The first one is Maverick Hunter X, a complete HD 3D remake of Mega Man X1. Yeah, you know how I mentioned how there's people who thought this was just a one-off entry? This is probably crazy. They're probably losing their minds right now over this. Anyways, yeah, this version is not a port like I just went over. Instead, it is a complete remake of the game, with new Sigma stage layouts, new music, like I said, new graphics, and even a Vile story mode. So yeah, this one is not really a port, but I thought I would mention it since it's probably going to come up in the comments, and I thought it was worth mentioning too. Next up for the honorable mentions is Mega Man Extreme. This game is actually not really a port of the original X games at all. Well, I mean, it kind of is, because it takes stage layouts verbatim from Mega Man X1 and 2 and sort of combines them together. No doubt inspired by the classic Mega Man games, which did pretty much the same thing, taking old Robot Masters and kind of dropping them into new remixed levels. So like the first part of the mode has like 3 X1 stages and 1 X2 stage, and then the second part has like 3 X2 stages and then 1 X1 stage. So yeah, it's kind of a mix of both, but the layouts are taken from the original. So, I thought I would mention this one. But yeah, this one is not being included. If it was like all X1 stages, then yeah, I'd probably include it here. But due to the fact that it's also got mixed in X2 stages, I'm counting this one as an honorable mention instead. Next up, we've got Mega Man Extreme 2, which is in a very similar boat as Mega Man Extreme 1. where it has 2 Mega Man X1 stages that are like pretty much complete recreations. So yeah, I think it counts as an honorable mention, but due to the presence of not only X2 stages like the last game, but even X3 stages in this game, yeah, it's going in the honorable mentions tier. So yeah, that was every release of Mega Man X1. I hope you enjoyed this video, kind of going through all of the different re-releases and kind of ways to play Mega Man X1. I know I did. This was a really fun video to do, and I'm so glad I did it. And yeah, the final counter of Mega Man X ports is the final counter is 5 if you count the original release, and 4 if you don't. So not as many as I expected, but that's still a lot, and it was still really fun looking back on this. So yeah, I really enjoyed this video, and I hope you did too. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out.